there, everybody. It's Kenny K again, and I wanted to talk to you about a how it has slasher. It's a slasher, but it's also a thriller, suspense, whodunit, mystery. I know. It's basically a European movie made in the Netherlands with Netherlands actors. It's called Amsterdam, and it's from 1988, directed by Dick Maas. And you've got Detective Eric as daughter Annika, and then Laura, the diving instructor he meets at some point, and Fox. I have to say I didn't watch this movie for a long time, so I don't know a lot. I know a lot of this, and I'm gonna spoil the end, but I'm gonna say when you have to turn it off if you want to see it. The movie basically starts with this woman, this prostitute, this in the night. She seems like she's drunk or something, and there's this killer in a wetsuit because Amsterdam has these channels, a little bit like Venice, the channels, and all these tourism boats, that you can they I mean, they are not. They're slow, and you can see the scenery of the town and take pictures. And he uses the channel to basically roam around town. So that's original. That's really original. I mean, a killer that uses a channel to kill his victims and then disappear again in the water. That's pretty original. And I mean, that's like Jaws underwater, but as a slasher. uh, so he kills the hooker. Somebody sees that. He takes the hooker in the water and he jumps in the water too. Then the day after, this, like I said, this tourism boat, it's going through this tunnel, and the hooker basically is strung up upside down, and you see her face going against the front window with all the blood, and then going on the rooftop, the roof of the boat, which is all glass too, and she's sliding down the rooftop, and the blood is, and yeah, a blood spore, uh, you know, chasing her, and everybody's like, I think the boat was full of Japanese, like, oh, they're like to take pictures. I mean, that was a cool scene. That was a cool scene. It was a gory scene, a pretty gory scene, a disturbing scene too. I mean, yeah, you have to imagine, man. I did not in Amsterdam, but in another town in Ghent. There's also this where they use boats. I mean, they go to tunnels. Imagine I did those tourism boats. I imagine that a body just slams against the window and then just, fuck, man, I'll shit my pants. Jesus, or at least a big fart that everybody starts to puke. Not because of the body, mind you, because of the fart. But then we go to Detective Eric. He is sleeping. He's woken up by his daughter Annika. He's divorced. He's Annika is staying with him for the weekend, and she's there holding his fucking gun, his loaded fucking gun, to his face, and he's saying, "Ah, Annika, you're awake. Ah, can you make me some breakfast?" And she's holding the gun. No, you have to get up and make it yourself. But she's holding the fucking gun, and he's not creeping out. I mean, one little shot and the fucking gun goes off and his head's blown off. I mean, I would be in panic mode. I would be like, honey, put the gun down. First, put the gun down. Yes, and then, are you fucking crazy? But I wouldn't just lay my fucking gun around and having a fucking daughter of 11 years old or something fucking take the gun. I mean, my dad is a fucking F, he worked for the federal police, like the FBI, and he let his fucking gun as a kid always on the night table with bullets, and he had fucking these bullets with red tips, which basically were bullets with explosive tip ends. They were loaded in his fucking gun. It was always like, whoa, whoa, what you doing? What you doing? Don't let. As a kid, I was curious. Don't let your fucking gun out there, you piece of shit. Sorry, Dad. Sorry. But I'm right, right? Don't, if you have a kid, don't let your gun just lie around there. Now, every now they start to, because the uh, when somebody saw the killing happening, the stabbing, he took her under the water, and she was investigated, and then they go to this, and she said he had a diver's costume, a frogman costume on, they call it the frogmen, like the Navy SEALs. They have these they call them the frogmen, I think, because they use a lot of the elements of the sea to get on land and attack the enemy. I mean, they're trained a lot in the water. What I gathered from G.I. Jane and documentaries and things like that. Um, but so he goes to this diving school and he says, can one of your students be fucked up in the mind? And she says, no, they're all, I don't know. I mean, I don't know their private lives. I mean, most of my clients are women and children. So, and she, and then there's this, and of course they're eye fucking each other, and at some point, I mean, he's a crazy fucking dad. Every time Annika is in the neighborhood, he just, oh, I have to go. There's some spaghetti in the fridge. I think it smells a little bit. I think it's spoiled, but it's still okay. Bye. And then then he goes away again. And then at some point he's in the hospital and she's visiting him. And then I have to put my pants on because I have to investigate. Bam! He puts her again. I mean, he's every time he what the fuck is she doing? She's 11 years old. Who is caring for this child? For God's sakes. And then I think he just leaves her and goes for a booty call with Laura because he can't handle his fucking blue balls are exploding all over the place, so he has to fuck her now. So, and she's somewhere, Anakin. You got some, then you got some off-screen kills like a decapitation that you see later on. You see the head. You got which is cool, a girl dragged underwater and she's stabbed underwater, and you see a blood cloud coming up, and then you see the body coming up with all the stab wounds. There's this scene where now personally I'm gonna spoil the movie, where they have this the diver basically they cornered him in a between two dams, and they can flush the water out, you know, and at the bottom they only find the knife and a scuba gear tank, and there's a hole, and he escaped through that manhole basically. He's clever. He's fucking clever. He then kills this girl on this floaty boat. You know that you float up with your air, and you see the knife going through the boat, and you see it going through her her per, her privates, and you hear the you don't see him. He slashes her through her basically through her pussy, and but you don't hear her, you don't see it, but you hear her scream. So that was a cool shot with the knife going closer and closer. The knife coming out, and we zoom in on the knife, and it goes. So you have these cool shots in this movie, and yeah, but there are some things, negative things about it. Then you have a scene, a chase scene, and basically that's the only scene where the killer and the detective go have a showdown with each other. They have two speedboats, they're speedboating over town, they do these spectacular things like jumping over a bridge and shit like that, and but the scene takes up 10 minutes or something, or 7 or 10 minutes. Like, fuck, man, I've seen enough. And then at the end, I don't know who he kills, but he kills this guy. He stab him. He kills him pretty fucked up. He gory. He stabs him multiple times. Then he slices his throat to make give him a little bit extra. You know, put some salt on the wound. You know, and then he commits fucking suicide. The killer takes his mask off. We see his face is like disfigured, burned, whatever, and he puts a fucking spear gun through his mouth. It's a cool effect. You see, but it would be cooler if it was in a showdown between Detective Eric and then between who they just call the maniac, the Amsterdam maniac. So yeah, that would be that they struggle, and at the end he took the fucking gun, and a tense scene where the killer is, and we know the killer is there, is with the gun. He gets sliced, he loses the gun, he gets sliced in the hand, and then they're fighting for their lives, and the fight, you know, the killer loses the knife, but they want to get to the harpoon gun, but he eventually Eric gets hit first, and then they are, you know, wrestling with it, and then he puts it right in the mouth area and shoots it off right through the fucking head. That would be cool. No, 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 no. He just plays. He knows the cops are coming, so he commits suicide. What a fucking pussy. So this movie, what are the pros? The pros are, it's a you've got a nice body count, a few gory kills. That like I said, the hooker kill with the boat, the dragging over the boat, the lady dragged under the water like Jaws almost. The scene like out of Jaws, but with a slasher. Then the scene at the end, the guy who gets stabbed, and then his throat slits. He snap like you know, with those knives, those scuba gear knives, but they're like those buck knives that Ghostface has, you know, the serrated knives, Ghostface from Scream, you know. So you've got a few gory kills. The chase scene with the boat, if that was only a minute long, that would be good. That would be a cool scene. But it didn't need to be 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes long, or long it what fucking was. Maybe even longer. I don't remember. I know it was pretty fucking long and boring at some point, and we've seen enough. That's one of the negatives. One of the positives is he goes through the channels, and he uses the water, and I mean that's I mean it's like I said, Jaws, but the killer is not a shark, but a maniac, it's because the killer doesn't have a name on IMDb. He's just called the Maniac. The acting is subpar. You can find the movie, by the way, English dubbed, so you can, if for people who don't want to have the Dutch version with the subtitles, you can watch it English dubbed. But the acting, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's too like the dad and the Eric and his daughter Annika. He's like, fuck you, Annika. Just care for yourself. He's like dad, and I don't know. The boat chase scene that took so long, took so fucking long. It wasn't epic anymore, and then the climax is super anti-climax. The killer kills himself. He does kill somebody in the end to give us something, but then he kills himself. So I want to give it a 5, but because of it's I never seen a killer using channels going through a city and using that to basically move around, and that's inventive, really inventive. So I'm giving it a 5.5. It's worth a watch. It's a slasher, thriller, mystery, somewhat whodunit movie. Uh, give it a look. You may like it. You may like the chase scene too. I just didn't, because a small reason why I don't like action movies anymore. I liked them as a kid, but nowadays I don't like Cobra. I saw it last time, and I thought, what the fuck is that? I mean, Cobra parks his car between two parked cars, but it's too small for him, so he just bumps the car in front of him and bumps the car behind him, and the guy from the car in front of him is still there. He's, what the fuck are you doing? And he's watching, and just steps out with his groceries, and he has a matchstick in his mouth. Now I don't know whether that the guy smokes, that is just for to being cool. I just remembered the movie from the killer. Let's kill the pig. I hate pigs. Let's kill that pig. He had that voice, and then Schwarzenegger going in commando, going to the fucking beach, and the beach is like 100 feet away. And for that little piece, he completely undresses himself, has the tightest speedo that you can have, with his muscles are oiled in, and he has the speedo goes right in his butt crack, and it's so over the top obvious that he wanted to show off his muscles. It's oh, I don't. That's more. That was as a kid I liked that, but now it's now horror movies. So if you like the movie, each their own. For me, it's a just okay movie, but I recommend it. So I think it's free on YouTube. I think it's free in English dubbed on YouTube. So give it a watch. Subscribe for more horror mania, and see you next time. Adios.